It's been a wild week across the nation, leading to some major shifts in my third bracket prediction. So let's go ahead and break it all down, starting with my one seeds: UCLA, South Carolina, Notre Dame, and still Southern California. The Bruins, Gamecocks, and Fighting Irish continue to dominate their conferences, remaining undefeated in league play. Meanwhile, Southern California's recent slip up opens the door up for Texas to potentially claim a number one seed. I gave the Trojans the edge for now after comparing both resumes. Both USC and Texas fell to Notre Dame. USC suffered an unranked loss to Iowa that put them in this vulnerable spot, and Texas lost to South Carolina by 17 points. However, the deciding factor for me was beating UConn on the road for two top 10 wins on its resume. For my two seeds, as I mentioned, Texas, you got UConn, LSU, and Ohio State. Texas has another shot at the Gamecocks in an upcoming rematch, an opportunity to solidify why they should be a one seed, but they'll have to find answers against South Carolina's suffocating defense, which held them to just 50 points in their last meeting. UConn was in the mix for a number one seed, but the head-to-head loss to USC in December keeps them on the two line for now. A matchup against Tennessee's pressure defense looms this week, but it offers the Huskies a key resume boosting opportunity. LSU is gaining momentum, proving itself against SEC competition after having a light schedule during non-con play. Their next big test is a battle against Tennessee this week. And last but not least, Ohio State, who faces a pivotal West Coast trip, taking on both UCLA and USC. These games could dictate their fate. They could stay on the two line, fall to a three, or even force a conversation about a potential move to a number one seed with a little help from Texas, depending on its South Carolina rematch. Three seeds: TCU, K-State, Kentucky, and NC State. TCU and K-State sit at the top of the Big 12, and their upcoming showdown on Wednesday could be a preview of the conference championship. NC State continued its red-hot streak, winning 14 of its last 15 games, including a thriller against rival Duke in the Tobacco Road rivalry. And Kentucky holds firm on that three line as it builds a strong case in the SEC. For my four seeds: Duke, North Carolina, Oklahoma, and Tennessee. Duke drops to a four seed after a hard-fought loss to NC State, but remains in the conversation for a three seed. North Carolina leans on its elite defense in the ACC, keeping the Tar Heels firmly in the mix. Oklahoma slides after a loss to Kentucky, now sitting 3-5 in quad one games. In Tennessee, I think you have to consider the visual component when considering this team. All of its losses come from top 10 foes in single digits at that. The Vols have been competitive in each matchup. Big week ahead. I can't stress it enough. Facing UConn and LSU, this could decide their hosting fate. Out of my top 16 for now is Maryland, who suffered its fifth loss of the season to Illinois by 1 point. Cheyenne Sellers was out with an injury when they played Ohio State and UCLA, so this could give the Terps a boost now that she's back in the lineup. As the season heats up, the bracket will only continue to shift. Buckle up, March is around the corner.